you're at this event, your target market's there. And, a lot of people, you could be the greatest salesperson in the world, but event marketing is just completely different.
Welcome to Sales Pipe Pros Podcast. Here's your host, Mike Petrosyan.
All right, everyone. Welcome to Sales Pipe Pros. I appreciate you taking the time. Today, my guest is a marketing expert turned serial entrepreneur. She is a CEO and founder of the #1 event staff app in the world. And I'm super excited to have her. Erika Klotz, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. And hello, everyone.
So, Erika, I know your background, but tell us about how you started in the world of entrepreneurship, how you got into sales. Love to hear all about it.
So I started pretty young. In college is when I caught the bug. And, had this idea for this digital media brand at the time. And it just wouldn't leave my brain. And so I really wanted to pursue that, the more I thought about it. And really the biggest thing that led me to actually doing that is I was telling people that I was going to do it. Oh. and when you tell people you're going to do something, that really leads to you actually doing it.
You better do it.
It's kind of an accountability tool. Exactly. And so, I really kind of fell into that world. I was studying marketing at the time, and I took a couple sales courses while I was in college. And, it was really unique experience there, but I think it really helped. That kind of mindset helped me in my entrepreneurial career with all my companies, because everything's selling, literally everything.
Amen to that.
So, went with that company for a while and then fell into PopBookings. So, kind of rest is kind of history from there.
And so tell us a little bit about PopBookings. I've been following your work for about 5 years now. I was trying to sell you something at one point, and that's how we met. But let's tell the viewers about PopBookings. Love to hear more.
Sure. Yeah. So PopBookings is a platform for event staffing. I believe when we were talking first, it was just kind of like the QuickBooks of event staffing. But since then, we've really turned more into that Airbnb of event staffing. So we have 2 products now, which has been a very interesting journey for me as coming from a 1 product company to a 2 product company. And so it's been really exciting, lots of learning with that. And we're able to address a larger market with that. So before it was, staffing agencies, basically, you have to have a large need to be able to need the advanced tool set that we provided. And now we have a little bit more of a simple, hey, you can come find staff, pay as you use it. Cool.
Awesome. And what is your target market? Who are you actually selling to?
So, as I mentioned, staffing agencies are great that kind of do event staffing day in, day out. We're really focused on the types of jobs that are in the marketing realm. So marketing events, less than hospitality. So usually when I say event staff, people think servers, bartenders, things like that. But we really have more of the promotional staff. So the people that, hand out the cheese at grocery stores, or the shop girls at bars, people running trade show booths, anybody pushing product at events that have a lot of people at them. Those are the kinds of jobs that get booked on PopBookings. So, we have a lot of brands that use us for their field marketing efforts. They want to scale out their marketing and sales teams without, bringing people onto their payroll, full time, because event marketing is sporadic. Events happen, all over the country, and it's usually a few days. So that's where PopBookings comes in and helps them find those people, train them up, and be able to hire and manage it from there.
Got it. So your employees can potentially do numerous events across numerous brands if they choose to.
Exactly. Yeah. The technical term for them is brand ambassadors.
Oh, gotcha.
So they can, pick up brand talking points pretty quickly and be able to, represent, the variety of different types of companies. I've actually come from the world. So I've done these events myself. And I've done brand ambassador work. So, the types of brands that I've done, it's kind of hilarious. It's anything from, I've done Axe body spray. I've done 5 Hour Energy. I've done Serta. I've done M&M. I've literally worn an M&M suit. I was the blue M&M. And, Mars was opening a new Walmart in the middle of nowhere or something like that, and just wanted to have one of their M&M suits there. So
I would
it's
love to see a
amazing
picture
the
of
different
that,
types
by
of
the way.
brands that do this kind of marketing. Right. I wish I had one,
Hmm.
the handler that was supposed to be there to, make sure I don't fall on my blue face didn't show up. So I was out there on my own.
Right.
That's another kind of problem that we're solving too with PopBookings is the no-show problem. I've definitely
Right.
experienced that firsthand.
Got it. Yeah, I was at a conference, I think, just this past week, and I was talking to someone at a booth, and they seemed like they weren't part of the company. And I asked them, like, do you actually work here? Like, no, I was just outsourced as just someone to hand out T-shirts and stuff. So it sounds like that would be someone that will potentially be a good candidate for PopBookings.
Yeah, I mean, those are the kinds of people that get outsourced. Sure. They're not supposed to be, if they're good, they're not supposed to be saying that kind of thing. Ratings and reviews on the platform. What up? Yeah, the good clients or the good staff are going to be able to, play that off pretty well and be able to at least, get down your information so they can, put that out to the people that know more than they do at the
Right.
time or something of that sort. So
Absolutely. And do you still deal with the waiter staff and the security and all that, or have you just pivoted directly to brand ambassadors and that's it?
it happens on the platform for sure. We have a very built out talent base that does all sorts of event work. So, there's people on the platform with that experience. Now on the supply, on the demand side, I guess, we just don't have a lot of those being posted yet, but it definitely happens.
Right. Awesome. So tell me a little bit about managing salespeople. I noticed that you have some salespeople under your belt now. I'm sure they're calling on other brands to see if they could use your help. How does that sales cycle work? Tell me a little bit about that.
It's interesting you ask because it's been changing. Before with the management tools that we sell, it's a big ask to tell people to change the essential what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. So with that product, it's a longer sales cycle. It's very much a get them to think, using the system, like logging in and changing everything. So we really have to help them think through everything for them to be able to say yes. Now with the marketplace side, it's a little easier, right? Do you have an event coming up that you need staff for? Yes, no. When is it? Let me help you post it on the platform. It's free to post a job on that platform, and you only pay once you find somebody. They can even go in and interview people, so our main goal is to get them to actually post a job, so we need to figure out when they have that need and, help them to get it posted. And depending on where it is, we usually can find people for them and give them choices at least. And, once they've done that, it's pretty impressive conversion rate. So that's really the main goal on that side of things, on the selling side.
Amazing. So you mentioned the conversion rate. That definitely explains itself. But what are some of the other metrics that I guess realizes success for someone that were to hire you?
Definitely having people apply. We don't have a huge problem with, finding staff. We're pretty built out. We have 225,000 active staff users
Wow.
checking the job board. And that's just spread out across the nation, unless they're going into, somewhere outside of Lincoln, Nebraska, we might not have that many people, but actually you'd be surprised. So we will tell you, before you post the job, how many people we have in the area. So we kind of set expectations in that way. And we've actually helped people find people in the most random places ever. I had a Rochester, Minnesota job that got booked, and they did a fabulous job.
Not sure where that is, but kudos to you.
Yeah.
And
It's
what
not
would you
huge.
say? the number one type of event that you find the most, I guess, passion with? Like, what type of event you say, like, yeah, I definitely want to work this event. I definitely want to staff it as much as possible.
I've been finding trade shows and conventions to be really exciting. They're multi-day events, they're usually industry specific, and a lot of really great products are usually exhibiting at them. So, we work with the exhibitors to be able to find supplemental help. You're at this event, your target market's there. And, a lot of people, you could be the greatest salesperson in the world, but event marketing is just completely different. Working events and making the most impressions in the least amount of time. You usually, as a salesperson, you get talk, but it's like, no, that's not why you're here. You're trying to get as many leads and then you follow up with them after that, and,
Right.
or, God forbid you're not great in person, and you're just sitting there not looking approachable behind the booth, So I see a lot of brands, they send their internal people, which, they could be great. Like I said, they could be great salespeople, but, at events, it's just a different animal. So, we really help clients be able to find somebody to, at least maybe work together in those cases and not just have one person running the booth. Maybe you have one that's, just fielding the place and getting people interested and getting them over. And then, if you have a hot lead that needs more talking to, sure, why not? But, it's really about strategy. And I think a lot of brands don't really think about the people part of it as much as they should. So
Right.
that's been a really exciting realm for me. So
Love it.
yeah.
And is there like some sort of training program that you have to put your event staff through prior to having them attend, or is that case by case depending on the actual brand they're representing? Tell us a little bit more about how that process works.
Yeah, so our platform's totally self-service, so it's really up to the person hiring the staff to, train them on what they need to know. We provide them all the tools to do it. So, we provide ratings and reviews, we provide past experience, photos, and the ability to chat with them. So, we really coach you to do your due diligence, do an interview before you make your hiring decision. And ask certain questions and review their cover letter, things like that. But it's not necessarily something where it's standardized, since we do kind of a broad range. It's more of coaching the person that's hiring on what they need to be looking for the best candidate for their needs.
Absolutely. And tell me about a time where one of your clients that you sold, it just went completely bad. What did you do to remedy that? I
Oh
guess
my
what
God.
happened, and no need to mention logos or anything like that, but what happened and what did you do to remedy that level of frustration?
So we had a person that was hired for a job for a mascot.
No, this is already
And those
good.
suits are not inexpensive. So they had to ship this big mascot suit to this person. This person ended up no-showing, but not only did they not do the job, they also would not return this suit. That was like $6,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
I totally underestimated the cost of a mascot outfit. That is insane. $6,000. Wow.
Yes, it was a big one. Yeah. Big, nice mascot suit that was meant to be shown to the world. Not only was not shown, it was
Kept.
basically stolen at that point. Yes.
Wow.
So it's a standard procedure for us in any case of a no-show is that person is ineligible to work any jobs from that point forward with the platform. So, of course that happened. But then when we learned of the theft, essentially, we had to step in and kind of usher and make sure that, the two parties were able to, at least connect and get, a resolution on that. So, it was a lot of, threats like, hey, I'm going to call the police and things like that. But, I think at the end of the day, the client really appreciated that. They did not leave. They are still booking with us. Thank the Lord. But, it was tough. It was hopefully never something any of my clients have to deal with ever again. But now we know things can happen. So
I'm guessing you're not booking much mascots anymore, or are you, and just learn from that? that process.
Yeah, that's what they do. They actually do Sasquatch, Tony the Tiger. So it's great.
I might actually apply for one of your jobs as a mascot. I'm actually really curious to see how that process works. I promise I won't steal the outfit though.
You put on a suit, you can't talk. You just run around making people happy and you get paid for it. What?
It's too much fun. And outside of that, tell me one of the biggest challenges you have of dealing with salespeople right now in general.
I think the biggest thing is just process. I'm kind of a process Nazi, with my call notes, we have standard templates, things like that we have to follow. We need to be making sure you're logging everything. I'm really big into grammar, kind of a grammar and copywriting and that might be my marketing side screaming at my sales side. But if you don't have great writing skills, I feel like that's a little bit of a hindrance. That's definitely something that sometimes salespeople don't really focus on, but I think it really helps you stand out if you have a professional way of communicating.
Yeah. And last question, Erika, what advice would you give to someone that wants to enter the world of entrepreneurship, start their own business, build out an app without any app skills at all, and really go after their dream? What would you recommend or say to that person?
As long as you have a viable idea, a real problem that you're solving, I didn't have any technical skills when I started. Non-technical founder, 100% here. I just knew I could find somebody to build it, as long as I can sell it. People that develop, they just want to create, and they want to be part of something. And if they can own a part of it, that's really cool to them. And they know they can't sell. You don't see developers going out and being able to sell on that side. So for me, it was not something that really stopped me from doing it. Just kind of knowing that. So I would say, just know that, find the right people that supplement your weaknesses and just go for it. Do what you're best at and then find others to, help you out in the other realms. There's people out there that will.
For every Wozniak, there's always a Steve Jobs.
Exactly.
Well, Erika, really appreciate your time. Congratulations on all the success. You said 225,000 people on your platform right now and growing?
Yeah.
That's amazing. I think when we first met, you had like a couple of hundred. So that's absolutely amazing. Congratulations on all the success and can't wait to see what else you have in store for this app.
Thank you very much. And thanks for having me.
Absolutely, Erika. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining. For more episodes, visit salespipepros.com.